Hello again everybody and a very warm welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking a look at the new JustFlight F28 Professional version 2.2, now with native support for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. So wherever you are in the world, a very good day to you. As always, hit like, hit subscribe, share your thoughts in the comments section down below. The F28 Professional has been out for a little while now, and it's had or enjoyed compatibility with MSFS 2024 for some time. But this version 2.2 and beyond brings native support. But that's not all, because as always, something I don't really use personally, but I know a lot of people do like to use, we have the addition of walkaround support, which is really cool. So you can kind of head around the aeroplane and you can open the doors like so. Something a bit more so the engineers, I think, really. You can click the chocks and remove those if you wish. But it has logic associated with it, because if you've got, for example, the doors opened, you won't necessarily be able to pop the chocks off. On the other side, you can open the cargo hatches, and you can click just here to get the GPU fired up as well. Complete with custom sounds. So you can go and kind of walk around the aeroplane. If anything, it's quite nice because you can have a really good close-up look at all of the detail that they've managed to squeeze into this aeroplane. You can go right up to the wings, have a good little look, check your static wicks and all the rest of it. So that's the plan for today. It's not necessarily a real-world route, but it's one that I thought would be quite nice to do regardless. Weather's a little bit windy, certainly where I am at the moment, but not too bad here at Birmingham and over at Edinburgh. But though Met Otters show some light rain and some low clouds and very low pressure, QNH 909.7 at Birmingham, 909.3 at Edinburgh. Simbrief integration is something that we enjoy in a lot of aeroplanes. Loading and everything, for example, is something that you can enjoy with this, and you can refuel instantly, for example. You can also do boarding instantly via stairs. You could do slow time as well if you wish.
Boarding is complete.
And we've gone for instant just to show you the different triggers of logic. You can hear in the background the door being closed. Now, one other thing that this has with it is custom cabins. As always, lots of nice clicks and switches. Very old looking aeroplane. Well, it is an old aeroplane. And it's something that I'm not familiar with, so there's going to be no doubt a lot of mistakes made throughout the journey today. Do forgive me for those. Ding. But I wanted to bring a little bit of power online. That's a nice little blue shaded feature because we have cabin controls. Now, we've got a variety of new features here. We've got airline and operator specific branding in the galley areas, for example. With our dedicated liveries, we've also got specific branding for the cabin area. Not only that, but as before, you can tune the music, turn it on and off. You can set them to have sort of custom music if you want. So if you've got a favourite playlist, you could download that, put it all into the relevant folders. All of that is in the manual. You can change the volume, turn it right up if you want a party, turn it off, all of that sort of stuff. Very cool indeed. And the cabin lights are toggleable on and off down here like so. Now, aircraft options. We've got a load of new options available to us. We've got the UNS FMS and the GNS 430 as two RNAV options. We'll go into the UNS 1 FMS integration. It's optional. It features simbrief OFP importing. It features manoeuvring support for holding patterns, direct to command heading functions, top of descent calculations, and more. You can toggle various features like throttle detent lights, create basically your more kind of personalised version of the aeroplane that you want to use. All the sounds, as before, really good. This is the APU firing up. And for those of you not familiar with the UNS FMS, you've got the power button on the bottom left, and it will load up with this kind of boot up screen, because it's an old system. Now while it does that, if you have an Avigraph Ultimate subscription, you can update the nav data within this to be applicable to the latest AirAC, which is an awesome feature. This also, on top of the manual that JustFlight has, as we've already mentioned, the simbrief integration. So I'm just going to go ahead and very quickly work through loading our simbrief route. It needs, of course, our pilot ID. Which I think, without checking, is that. There we go, happy days. And it's loaded up our routing for today, happy days. So what have we got here? Next and previous pages, let's have a little look through. And IMPIP for the IMPIP 1 Echo into Edinburgh. 11.1 mic for the departure for today. But there's our 3 pages. We can go ahead and configure things like reserve fuel if we wish. Like so. Now you might be looking at this and thinking, my goodness Luke, how do I get my SIDS and stars? I'm not familiar with this. Well, go to menu, and you can see here, 4th row down, depart on the left, arrive on the right. So we can go depart. We're going to be departing on runway 33 today. I'll just double check my simbrief flight plan. Yep, 33 and an 11.1 mic. So we can select runway 2. Enter, and SID number 3. So just typing in the numbers relevant to the option, like so. And then we go back to the flight plan, and we can see then that we've got the departure set up to Lotham, and then we head on up towards Edinburgh. Now we're going to commit to the runway 24 IMPIP 1 Echo arrival, and therefore the ILS into runway 24. We're going to come in via Tartan. So we can go arrival, runway 24, so that's number 2, enter, and the star number 3, IMPIP 1 Echo, and the ILS is going to be via runway 24, and that's approach number 1. Transition is going to be just final approach, it's number 2, like so. When we get closer, we will go into looking into holds and seeing how the aeroplane can fly it as well. So that's all done, and it is literally as simple as that really for setup, so you can do it really quickly. You've got a fuel page giving you your information around your fuel on board. Certainly if you've got the APU on, you'll be burning that fuel all of the time. So things like minimum takeoff fuel being 3,663 kilos. So that's showing in pounds. So we can just toggle that across by going into the fuel menu page, kilograms, And then we can see there when we go into fuel, we've got fuel on board 3926. We loaded 3935, so we've used 10 kilos of fuel already on the ground, chilling and chatting. The Love & One mic is an RNAV departure, so we're not going to worry about VORs or anything like that, thankfully. And as we get towards Edinburgh, we're going to be tracking an NDB. Not that we're going to be flying to it as such, but we will be making use of it. So we want to set 341. We can go ahead and scroll for that. Don't forget, this is a very rudimental system, effectively. We could do the same with VOR2 if we want, or NDB2. We've got nav lights on. Don't need the landing lights or anything like that on. Okay, windshield heating's low or off. Fasten seatbelt signs are on. We've done all the tests. Skid controls are all set. Fire warnings are all tested. TTC switches are on takeoff, nav lights are on, flight recorder has been set, rudder pedals, seats, harnesses adjusted and secured, electrical power and bleed air supplies checked, brake pressures checked, parking brake is now on, fuel quantities have been cross-checked already, pressurization level is set. Like so. Nav aids are all done, thrust index is set. Windows, doors, anti-coil lights, throttle levers. HP valves are on shut. Booster pump switches. Center tanks are empty, so the others are on. Center tanks are off. Start master switch on. Ignition mode is currently normal. Engine start selector 2.
Bypass pin removed. Left is clear, right is clear.
RPM on engine 2's up. Positive rotation. Fuel lever start 15 to 25, which is here. Like so. Engine 2 igniter light on. Oils, TGTs are on. Waiting on RPM and TGT to hit 50% or 400 or 4, which is just there. We can now open the fuel valve completely for engine 2. Monitoring. Looks good. Engine 1. Start. Same again. On the outside, just briefly. Move that fuel control lever. This is Sim Update 3, by the way, folks. Still rising. Cool. Okay, high pressure fuel valves are open, pressure lights are out, igniter lights are out, start valve lights are out, start master switch off. Generator lights are out. So taxiing is pretty good. Sounds are as nice as before as well. And you can use the fan button there just to hide the tablet if you wish. There is a very handy little checklist system here, which is pretty good. The challenge with these older aeroplanes, because they are a bit more hands-on, is kind of more along the lines of effective kind of time and resource management, trying to do precisely what everyone else would be doing if you were flying a 2-pilot jet. Okay, so approach path is clear from the outside. There's a couple of the lights, no nav lights, but good kind of frontal landing lights and taxi lights. Okay, lining up 3-3 for full length departure. Got trusty Dave with me today, helping me with today's test flight. This is out now, by the way, folks, so you can get your hands on it by going to JustFlight account, downloading it immediately, or if you've bought it via, for example, Contrail, you can get it from there. We are using Pyrig Devco's Birmingham Airport scenery and their version 2 Edinburgh scenery for today's journey. Just forgot, I didn't cage the artificial horizon, so I'm just doing that now. Okay, see how we get on then. Gotta hold it on the brakes.
Cam crew, please take your seats for takeoff. Power set.
HTSPs are in the green. Power set. Speed's alive.
Cabin is secured for departure.
I always forget those logic bits. Crikey.
Rotate.
Almost overshot the runway. 10 degrees. Nose up. Positive rate gear up.
Set climb power.
We've got it flaps up already. Autopilot engaged. For the pre-select on, we're going to go beam mode for VNAV, LNAV and VNAV kind of type mode. So beam's going to give us the LNAV from our autopilot. How's our speed? 195, 190, good. And that's navigating us along our flight path route. Altitude pre-select for 6,000. We've got the alert on, giving us the altitude pre-select indication and the pre-select sticker thing there to tell us that that's actually what we're going to then level off and intercept at. You can see the aeroplane then starting to work towards that. So landing gear is up, flaps are up, lift dampers are in, landing flare out, lights off, retracted, and the taxi, oops, let's get them retracted as well. Into a bit of pea soup here, folks, and then we're going to keep on winding up. To our cruising altitude today of flight level 280. Just going to go to speed mode, hold 250. Definitely very rusty at this, aren't I? I'm sure you guys can forgive me. Through 6, so we're going to go to 29902 for the local pressure, 1013. Altitude pre-select for 280 is on. Engine anti-ice switches are still on automatic. Pressurization system pressurizing nicely, and we can turn the seatbelt signs off because this is the 80s and safety wasn't as important. So yeah, lots of different tweaks, improvements to make it more native to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. What we're doing, we're looking good there. And it's nice to be back in an older aeroplane as well, because you very much do get used to being in the modern jets. So it's nice to have these more vintage style airliners that you can go and enjoy, really kind of push the boundaries a little bit more, test durability a little bit more, because you know, I could dive into an A320 any day of the week and get A to B 99% stress free. Whereas this makes you have to really think about the flow, utilise the checklists again. You can see then how rusty I was on the departure, and I really couldn't quite get my rudder feeling quite right, using the sensitivities I have for the 777, for example. So some big differences there. There was a 10 knot crosswind at Birmingham, so I need to improve my crosswind handling of this. But once I got the setting right, we're able to recover that centre line, and again, that's just rust, which when you're not used to these aeroplanes you will find that you do get a little bit of, and that's fine, that's part of the enjoyment of it. So we've already looked around the pre-flight walk-around functionality in MSFS 2024 only. So as we saw at the start of the video today, chocks, GPU, passenger, service and cargo doors, aircraft entry exit doors are all able to be operated in that pre-flight walk-around mode. We've got the simbrief operational flight plan import functionality with that modern tablet from JustFlight as well, allowing us to change the aircraft states and toggle options on and off as we wish. And we've already spoke about that Navigraph and simbrief integration as well. It is available with standard and window mount modes apparently, so I'll just get rid of that. So the bezel area here allows you to dock it onto the window. Like so. And everything's greyed out when you're in flight, which is quite a nice little feature, so you can't accidentally click things and change settings, for example. And then to dock it back, we can press the bezel area at the bottom of the screen to snap it back down to that kind of windowed, like the standard view mode, like so. So working pretty nicely. We want to change that speed mode now and just kind of go into a bit more of a faster climb. And as you can see, all the sounds of the outside are really quite powerful. It's a loud aeroplane, this. Now the entire changelog is available on the JustFlight website, allowing you to see all of the different features available for this new version of the product. We've already mentioned about the added custom cabin textures as well to all the different passenger liveries included, so you can get those real retro vibes in some of those liveries like Air UK and so on and so forth. And as we're in the BA operated by TAT, we've had a little look at that cabin area as well. The cabin call switches, because I forgot to actually press the steward call, cabin call icon there to trigger the logic for the thing. That is a feature that still remains the same as well. They have, not that I've used it, improved the EFB functionality for pushback. So you can use on the top right there that little pushback icon to control the pushback if you wish, if you don't have, for example, GSX, and that's quite nice to see that they've implemented that too. They've also improved the GSX GPU and GSX Jetway support, so that GSX, for example, can now supply external power to the aeroplane, and buttons on the EFB for the aircraft app allow us to select the GPU or Jetway power once we have that available as well. And then the little hot water pot here has got a new animation as like a little extra Brucey bonus, if you like. So we're almost at our cruising altitude. We'll then let the jet accelerate up to our cruising speeds. We'll go for max 7, like so, thereabouts. No auto throttle on this, don't forget, so the throttle positions are very much down to us. We'll go through now a conversation very briefly around holds. So we're on the nav page. If we then select the maneuvers page, we get holding definition, I think it means, or holding def N, which opens the holding fix page where we can then program our hold. And we've got tartan on our flight plan. So we're going to go nav, maneuvers, oops, nav, maneuver, holding definition, tartan is 18, so we're going to select 18 for the holding fix at tartan, which is what we want. Just keep an eye on the speed here while I get Navigraph up for you folks. There you go. That's what we want from Navigraph, hold at tartan. So we're going to make our way in via Escdo, but actually the inbound entry is 015 for the left turn, outbound 1905, 3.5 nautical mile hold legs. So we're going to go try and put that in. Just going to have to bring that throttle back a little bit. We'll see if it stabilises there. So tartan, enter, and it gives us this rudimental display. So we want the inbound course to be 015. We enter that, we'll then get the outbound leg changed to 195, which is correct. And actually we want a left turn, so we need to select that. And we click L for left. And the distance, 3.5. Enter. And it'll be a direct entry. And then once that's configured, we can arm the hold. And then we get proceed and we get disarm hold as a new option. So what we're going to do is just carry on along the way until we reach the point where we are ready to enter that hold at tartan. So as we work through the descent, seatbelt signs can go on, pressurization is set, TTC switches to the takeoff mode, crew briefing is complete, and we've got takeoff, the landing data has all been checked and all the bugs are set. And one important thing for the ILS, we need to, as we start to vector in from tartan, actually then switch to nav mode, for example, as well, because currently we're tracking waypoints on the GPS down here. We'll then need to actually try and make it recognise that in fact we need to be focusing rather on the ILS. Working down towards Edinburgh, beautiful views even with the cloud. So a little bit of light rain in the area. We've got a small crosswind of about 4 knots, predominantly an 8 knot headwind that's in use for today, runway 24. Now next on the leg is the hold. So we're coming into tartan for 7,000. $21 miles. And that hold is armed. So we'll let it fly the hold, we'll just see what it does. It should obviously enter at the right pace, turning left. Let's get a bit of the speed brake out. Lift dumpers are ready. It's very similar to the BA146, for example, in the Avro RJ with that clamshell tail speed brake. Very, very effective. Let's It's like opening a parachute, effectively. Let's close that, see if we maintain that. It's a decent little speed. And I'm rapidly trying to refresh my memory of flying the ILS system. We need to click glide, I know that much. I think beam and glide from memory. The glide is the glide path beam, and the beam is the ILS localizer beam. You have to intercept with both from memory. So we'll just see how we get on. Ice detected. Naughty. Let's get all of that on nice and powerful. So we've turned the icing systems on. Look at this. Wonderful. Very murky. Gloomy. Gonna nibble the speed brake out a little bit more. Once again. There goes the ice detection, good. We're back into our safety margins. $7 miles to our intercept. And we get all our lights and signs on. Like so. So that's already done. Let's teach you that set. Dimmy 1 and 2 have gone white. So we're now picking up the localizer. We've got 20 miles, as you can see there. Still a bit too high. That's okay. 4 miles. Effectively, we're going to fly that hold. Do one leg. I'll keep an eye, see how it does. We should be expecting a left turn, max speed of 230 knots. Just make sure we're at our hold entry speeds. I'm going to bring that down to 1800 feet per minute. That's a little bit better. Just going to bug out for about 220. Altitude pre-select. Smooth that out a little bit more, feed in a power. Lots of weather on the radar. Crikey. Imagine seeing that and having to decipher what's actually happening. Whereas now the modern airliners, of course, have got this really complicated, wonderful visual aid at their disposal. Whereas not many years ago, clearly they didn't. Wide slope flags are active. Okay, just overflown tartan, entering the hold, pitch and power, we're levelling off. Really nice hold entry. Just make sure that vertical speed mode selector is back on to near enough kind of wings level. Speed around 200. 210, that's fine. I'm just going to set the heading bug for 015 because I want to monitor the inbound turn as well at the end of the leg. Needs a bit more power. Happy days. We're wings level at 210, so it's not bang on. I suspect that has something to do with the winds, though. We don't have a display of this is what the wind is doing at the moment in this aeroplane, like modern A320s and aeroplanes like that do have. Should be approaching 3.5 nautical miles fairly soon for then the inbound turn. So what we could do is go to nav, holding, manoeuvre, kind of see what it's trying to do. So we could disarm the hold. Go back to the flight plan page. It's going to now turn us left. What we'll do now is set heading mode. So heading is set 015, left turn, heading mode.
Cam crew, please take your 61.
I remembered it that time. Yippee! Right, approach. There's no mention of APU till after landing. Good.
Cabin is secured.
Thank you. So what we're going to do now is flick to nav mode. So we have course 240, and it's giving us a DME, matching the ILS. And we're going in over tartan 015 degrees again. Around about there. 015. Is that 015? One click. I like to be precise where I can. 210 is good for the speeds, and we want to bring it down now to 3,000 feet. 2-1 auto, vertical speed mode on. Auto hold. And the weather, NH 993, high to low, down you go. To support, we set this now. It's about 30 feet per hectopascal, folks, which I talk about a lot on our streams. Very low pressure weather system. We'll start to bring the speed off. .16. Roughly a 12 DME arc is what we want to try and achieve. Flaps 200 knots to 0 to 25. 200 knots for landing gear as well. 15. Need a little bit of speed brake cracking out, just to spoil the airflow around the back of the aeroplane, create a load of drag. 2,000 to go. I'll pre-select a set. Figuring for that full flat landing. I don't mind the speed being around 200. That's roughly where I want it. Then I'll rebug for 140. Got 2 more. Crikey. Making good progress, almost in. Just working through now, roughly a 12 DME arc. So I've descended fairly low, fairly quickly. So we're just a smidge above the below the profile. I've just asked it to level off a little bit before we recommence a bit of a descent. Working down the 12 DME arc, he says. Starting to turn. $240, 50, 60, 70. Go for westbound. Okay, needle's moving. Flaps 11. Beam. It's capturing. Glide slope auto, see what it does. $10 miles. Speed's about 170. Wow, that's the crosswind. We're in for a treat. Wind's variable 230 to 290 knots. Degrees, sorry. knots would be dreadful. So we'll see how we get on. Glide slope's live. Gear down. A little bit of funny business with the glide slope. It looks like it's captured now. It didn't before, for some reason. It seemed to just have a little bit of a wobble picking it up. I think that's more me than the aeroplane. Look at this weather. This is shocking. This is so rubbish for weather. Brilliant for simming though, right? This absolutely stunning. Beautiful views inbound Edinburgh. So full flat. It's flying the glide slope really nicely now. My controls. Pitch of power. Quiet the crosswind. Sort that view out a little bit more. Bit of personal preference, bit of power there, sync. So that must have been a bit of shift in the weather. It's hard when you can't feel anything in the sim, whereas in real life when you're flying, you can feel the wind affect the aeroplane. Don't get that in the sim as much. What amazing conditions to fly into. Shows you how good this aeroplane is now.
100 feet to minimum.
I've not flown it for a very long time.
Minimums.
Continue.
Minimums.
Speed's looking good.
50, 40, 30, 20.
Wow, gusty.
10.
Lift dumps are out, speed brakes out as well, making use of that. And manual brakes. Happy days. So lots of different tweaks, changes, improvements now, especially with it being native to MSFS. Just going to straighten the nose up here on the centre line. And then as we taxi, just quickly pop outside to show you some of the emissives in action as we make our way down Alpha. Now the aeroplane's been cleaned up. We can go ahead and turn all those lights off. Welcome to Edinburgh. So as always, let us know what you think down in the comments section below. Let me know how I've done as well, bearing in mind I've not flown this aeroplane for probably over a year now, so extremely rusty, but we actually made it through with some pretty poor conditions into Edinburgh and at genuinely a pleasant flight. So it's nice to be back in the F28, and it does give you a little idea of what to expect again, as a bit of a refresh somewhat for the F70 and F100, which I'm really looking forward to. Still been quite a bit of time in development, very much looking forward to those. Hopefully in the next few months we'll start to hear some updates from the JustFlight team. Parking brake set. Let's see how we get on with the jetty. Auto jetways on. So park brakes on, fuel levers
Cabin crew, doors to manual.
shut, passenger seatbelt switches off, air conditioning main switches off, off and park the old windscreen wipers. And then we get the jetty attached and crack on from there. So there you have it, the F28 Professional version 2.2, now with native support for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Enjoy your stay in Edinburgh, and I'll see you very soon. Take care. Bye for now.